Hello everyone, and in this video I'm going to be showing you why your cash cow channel isn't working or can do better. So if you don't know me already, my name is John and I've been working and living full-time off of YouTube automation channels or cash cow channels. So I know a thing or two. I do host live calls twice a week in our coaching community, which you can find down below. But let's go ahead and get started with this video. This is going to be more ad-lib as far as I just have a few notes written down here, and it's basically common problems that I see among our students in which why their cash cow channels are not working. So the first thing we're going to go over are two main strategies here, okay? Browse-based strategies and search-based strategies. Now, your channel can most certainly be a mix of both strategies. And when I'm referring to browse-based strategy, what I mean by that is that your videos are gaining views via browse-based traffic. And so that simply just means getting views from the YouTube homepage, right? So this is browse-based strategies, meaning that you're trying to get your videos to appear here on browse. Now, in contrast to that, you have search-based strategies, like how to get more subscribers, where if you're trying to rank for this term, that's a search-based strategy. Trying to get your video to rank in search, like one of these videos here, that is a search-based strategy, right? So with that premise kind of established, there's two strategies that I usually tell people to try to go for. And with these strategies, it depends on what your niche is. Niches that are meant to be more browse based, these tend to be niches that are more, let's say, trendy, targeting news, targeting something that's upcoming. So think about here like celebrity news, and then we have TV show releases, movie releases, upcoming cars, right? Upcoming AI software. So anything that's in the news or news related, okay? And please excuse my spelling because this is going to be more like a raw type format video. But with browse-based strategy videos, these work better for videos that are tend to, again, target news, right? So the problem that I tend to see is that sometimes people will be in like an evergreen niche, like stories or health, or let's see what else, like history documentaries. And those type of niches, they aren't really meant to go browse like instantaneously. So the thing you have to understand behind your niche is that, is the topic of your video that you're creating a video on, is it actually meant to gain views within the first 48 hours? So with this strategy, it more so involves analyzing the first 48 hours. So if you think about the first 48 hours of your video, when you release a video onto your YouTube channel and it has nothing to do with whatever's trending out there in the news and there's no increased demand for it, like for example, the entire history of Cleopatra. For example here, there's no news behind Cleopatra. There's nothing groundbreaking that just happened with Cleopatra. There's no, again, nothing related that happened on the news that relates to Cleopatra. Then you really shouldn't be making some harsh judgments in the first 48 hours of your videos. Analyzing the first 40 hours of your videos usually ties to when something in the news happens. So let's say, for example, Lakers win the championship. So you make a video, and because of that breaking event, right? Lakers winning the championship, for example, you make a video. Yes, you should be analyzing the first 48 hours. So with this browse-based strategy, it's very easy to gain views when you target things that are trendy, targeting news, targeting something that's upcoming. And these are just a list of things that I've kind of established that might more relate to this browse-based strategy, where celebrity news, TV show releases, movie releases, upcoming cars, this is supposed to be AI softwares. This is when analyzing the first 48 hours matters. And it's because if, let's say, ChatGPT 6 just got released and it's a high in demand topic, yeah, your video should have started gaining views. So essentially with this browse-based strategy, the problem is that people are in niches that aren't meant to be browse-based videos, meaning that they're not meant to gain views, right? Views within the first 48 hours. And so that's when they're really hard on themselves and they come to me asking, I just posted a video about how to take care of your hair, right? this is not a browse-based topic. So that's a problem that I tend to see, where if your topic isn't really meant to gain views within the first 48 hours, it's not a browse-based topic. It's not going to go viral instantaneously. So you have to kind of get that distinction between what are the types of videos that you're posting and is it meant to gain views within the first 48 hours. The entire history of Cleopatra, again, this is a browse-based topic, but isn't meant to gain views within the first 48 hours. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to get views within the first 48 hours, but because there's nothing groundbreaking that happened with Cleopatra, because there's nothing that's trending surrounding Cleopatra, it's a browse-based topic, but again, it isn't meant to gain views within the first 48 hours. So you really have to understand, like in a case-by-case scenario, based on your video, is it meant to get views within the first 48 hours? Now, in contrast to that, okay, we have a search-based strategy. So a search-based strategy means simply targeting, or the goal with your video is to rank in search. So if you make a video called how to get more subscribers, you want to rank for the term how to get more subscribers. The example that I gave before, how to take care of your hair, if we take this example here again, this is more of a search-based strategy. So the thing with search-based strategy is that these niches tend to target, I shouldn't say niches, but these video topics tend to target search-based keyword phrases. So it may take, let's say, 3 to 1 year plus to rank. So let's say 3 months to a year to rank. Sometimes you'll rank instantaneously, and sometimes you might not even never rank. Now with the search-based strategy, it's keyword phrases, long tail keyword phrases that people are typing into YouTube that you're trying to rank for. So the example here, how to take care of your hair, this is a search-based topic and therefore following the search-based strategy. To simply do the search-based strategy, you just target a long tail keyword phrase and have it in your title and have it in your description. So again, things that it might take 3 months to 1 year plus to rank, it might not even rank at all, and sometimes videos rank instantaneously. If we take a look at an example of one of my search-based videos, which is right over here, there was probably no sort of action going on for the first 150 days. But eventually it started ranking in search. Okay, you can see here that 76% of my traffic is coming from search, and I'm now ranking for the term neck fan. So if you think about it from that perspective, it's two entirely different strategies depending on your niche / depending on the topic of your video. So if the topic of your video isn't meant to be, let's say a common topic that people have is like 10 ways, let's say, so if this is the topic of your video, right, 10 best hair products for better hair, and you're trying to rank in a browse-based strategy, the alternative to that would just be to how to take better care of your hair, where this is more of a search-based strategy. So you can kind of see the contrast between the two, where this second one here is an exact term that people are actually typing into YouTube, versus this one here is more of like a browse-based topic video where it might not even rank in the video, but at least sometime down the road this video might rank and then stay ranked forever. So the good thing about the search-based strategy for video topics is that they tend to gain views, at least a consistent amount of views every 48 hours, unlike a browse-based video like this one here. This one tends to plateau and eventually die off. Two different strategies. It depends on the nature of your video topic. Now, depending on what your channel is in, there's usually another channel that you're modeling after. And so what I like to mention to people, this is another problem that people have, is try to be a close replica of that model. So for example, I have some YouTube channels pulled up here. This channel here is called Court Culture, and this one is called Brook Hoop. Let's actually pull this one here, Kingdom Hoops. So with these channels, okay, if you're making a channel like Court Culture and then your quote unquote inspiration is Kingdom Hoops, we can pull them side by side. And a lot of the times when our students come up to me and I review their channels for them, what they are thinking is very different from what they're actually seeing. So if, let's say, on the left hand side is your model of a channel and you're trying to perform that on this channel is not the same thing as this channel. So my recommendation for people who are just starting is to be as close as possible to being an exact replica of what the successful channel is doing. So you can see here there's a very red and blue dominance. It's only 3 faces per, but sometimes people's creativity box tends to spin. And so what some people may see as copying, if you really think about it, just people are always just copying other people on YouTube. The same strategies used to grow on how to get more subscribers. This video probably has very similar content to this video here. This video has probably very similar content to this video here. So people are essentially just copying each other in terms of information is being passed along from one person to another. So likewise with YouTube automation channels or cash cow channels, I would highly recommend that you be as close as possible, especially when starting, to your model channel and waiting until a video actually works and then saving your creativity for later. So being a close replica model and then saving your creativity for later until you actually get videos to work. Now, some people may argue like, okay, I posted this video here. Let's say every Caitlin Clark's most savage moment. I posted this video. Why didn't it work? Well, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to work, right? If you post a video that's very similar to a video that has successfully worked, it doesn't mean that video is always going to work. So what's likely going to happen is that what you may be seen as copying, you have to kind of take into account that you're only a sample size of one here. If this channel here on the right hand side posts a lot of videos that are very similar to this channel here, let's say the main takeaway that they get is this red and blue dominance thumbnail background. If they continue to do that nonstop, eventually one video might take off just because you can see that this is the winning strategy that this channel is doing here. So instead of being seen as copying, but rather taking what's already working and applying it to your own channel, you should do that rather than trying to, be innovative, at least when starting with. Especially beginners with YouTube automation or those who are just starting cash cow channels, save your creativity for later until you actually start to understand your niche. And you do have to have a big sample size. So if you only post one video with a red and blue dominant background and you're wondering, oh, why didn't it work? Well, you got to post more videos. You need to get those reps in. You need to increase that sample size. You kind of making a judgment that, okay, I posted this video with a red and blue dominant background and it didn't work. Well, I'm just going to stop doing that. That shouldn't be the case because your sample size is extremely small. You only tried it once. I heard the story once where there was an individual talking to another successful individual, and the first individual does a lot of door hanging flyers. The second individual mentioned to the first individual that door hanging flyers don't work. And what the first individual asked was, well, how many door flangers have you sent out? The second individual said, I only ever hung out 100 door flyers. And then the first individual proceeded to say that, well, I've handed out 50,000 door hanger flyers. So that kind of leads you to believe like there's an idea behind sample size in which if you try to replicate the success of other successful videos on another channel and you only do like 1 or 2 videos like it, that's not a big enough sample size. You need to actually get your reps in and really try to replicate what's already working and what's already in front of you and do as close as possible to what they're doing so that you can get your channel to work. Faceless cash cow channels, it's always not about reinventing the wheel. At first, you can kind of see what's already working and try to do like an alternate version of it, but really take the main key points of what's working on this left-hand channel here. But in contrast to that, sticking to what's already working, not trying to reinvent the wheel, saving that for later, that is going to be your valiant attempt at trying to get these cash cow channels to work. So I can't tell you how many times in our community I've pulled up 2 channels side by side and I've come to realize like, okay, if this is person A's channel and this is their replica channel on the left-hand side, it's not the same thing. You really, really have to dial down on what's already working and do what's already being shown in front of you to actually get your video to work. I hope you found this video helpful. If you want our coaching and you want our help as far as growing YouTube automation channels goes, do check out the link down below in the description where you can schedule a free consultation call. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.